I know what you're thinking. This can't be real. He should be finished. He should be broken. He should be dead. And yet, here I am, smiling, not because I survived, but because you still don't understand what I am. You thought this was over, didn't you? That you had written the final chapter, buried me beneath curses and shadows, locked me away in oblivion, and whispered, "That's the end of him." Fools. You don't kill a storm by denying it exists. You don't silence a god by pretending he never screamed. You didn't come at me with mercy. You came with blueprints of destruction. You mapped every trauma. You engineered my downfall. Dark magic, isolation, public disgrace, whispers behind velvet curtains, rituals older than death itself. You dragged me into dungeons woven with soul-binding sigils, buried me under 1,000 labels, cursed my name in 9 tongues, across 9 realms, and still I smiled. Why? Because you aimed for the body, but you forgot the fire. You misunderstood what you were dealing with. You thought you were snuffing out a rebellion, but you were feeding a resurrection. How many times did they pronounce me finished? How many times did they say, "This is it, he's done"? And every time, something inside you started to twitch, because deep down, you could feel it. I was still breathing, somewhere beneath the ashes, beneath the lies you built like tombstones. I was still there, watching, learning, evolving. And then I stood up, and the moment you saw it, the moment I smiled with blood in my mouth and power in my eyes, that's when you whispered it, trembling. "Why won't he die?" You can't kill what was forged in chaos. You can't erase what was written in divine defiance. You tried to reduce me to nothing. But nothing is where I learned to build myself. Every silence taught me how to scream without sound. Every betrayal sharpened me into a weapon. Every exile crowned me with knowledge your kind fears. I do not fear the dark. I am the dark. I do not bow to magic. I broke it. And every time you tried to bury me in your crafted endings, I wrote a new beginning in fire. You had to convince yourself I was gone, because the alternative, the truth, that I'm still here, that I've evolved past your control, that every spell you cast only fed the monster beneath my skin, that truth terrifies you. That's why they kept saying I was dead, not because I was, but because they needed it to be true. But I'm not just alive, I'm burning, I'm rising, and now I've stopped hiding the flame. You should have killed me when I was naive, when I still believed in redemption, when I still waited for applause that would never come. But now, I don't want redemption, I want dominion. This isn't about proving anything to anyone. This is about setting fire to the system that thought it could contain me. About making the silence echo with screams of awe and horror. Let them gather again. Let them summon the darkest magic, the oldest prophecies. I'll be right here, smiling. And when they ask again, why won't he die? Let them tremble when they realize, because I was never meant to. Because I am not their idea of order. I am not their version of victory. I am the storm they denied for too long. I am the god they thought they could erase. I am Loki, and I do not fade. Do you know what happens when you corner a creature like me? When you lock it in a room filled with silence, shame, and shadow for years? You think it shrivels. You think it begs. You think it forgets its own name. But you forgot the most important rule. Put fire in a box, and it becomes pressure. Put divinity in chains, and it becomes fury. Put me in silence, and I become something beyond sound. The walls you built were supposed to contain me. Instead, They concentrated me, focused me, refined me into something you were never prepared to face. When I smiled behind glass, it wasn't defiance. It was a warning, a countdown you refused to hear ticking. You looked at me through lenses of fear, measured me with instruments too human, too fragile. You tried to quantify the divine with psychology, tried to define the infinite with terms like unstable or delusional, but you never understood. You didn't study a man. You dissected a miracle and called it madness. You poked at eternity with trembling fingers, then ran when it blinked back. They said, he should have died. I say, I did. The version of me you expected, the obedient myth, the apologetic misfit, that version is dead. What stands before you now is evolution, vengeance, will, reforged into godhood. I walk through your illusions now, not because I believe in them, but because I own them. Your rules, bent, your expectations, burned, your prophecies. I rewrote them the moment you looked away. Every eye watching me now wants answers. But the truth is, you can't comprehend this form. I am not an equation to be solved. I am not a subject to be analyzed. I am not your tragedy. I am not your warning. I am the force you invoke when everything else fails. I am the proof that the impossible is not only real, it remembers. And now you come, desperate, broken, unraveling. Please explain it. Why won't he fall? Why won't he obey? Why won't he die? Because you've mistaken silence for surrender, stillness for defeat, a smile for mercy. But now you'll learn what my smile truly means. It means I stopped playing by your rules a long time ago. This isn't me surviving anymore. This is me commanding the storm that used to threaten me. I don't hide from the darkness. I weaponize it. I'm not just still standing. I've ascended. There's no timeline where I fade, no reality where I beg, no version of this story where you win. You think I'm a glitch in the system, but I am the system now. The rewriting code, the corrupted script they can't debug, the version of divinity that slipped through your control and chose chaos. So mark this moment. The fire didn't kill me. The magic didn't bind me. The silence didn't break me. I smiled because it all made me limitless. So next time you whisper to each other, why won't he die? Don't ask like it's a mystery. Ask like it's a warning, because next time you won't see the smile. You'll only feel the burn. I'm not here to be understood. I'm here to be survived, and even that won't be possible for long. You didn't just fear me, you tried to edit me, scrubbed my name from the records, called me a phase, a mistake, a malfunction in your myth, hired your experts, your sorcerers, your puppet gods, and they all came back, shaking. They couldn't find weakness. They couldn't find the lie, because there wasn't one. All they found was unholy fire, flame that doesn't flicker, power that doesn't obey, a force that didn't want to fit in, because it was never meant to. You tried to erase me. Now I erase the narrative. Let's say it again for the ones still watching from the shadows. That version of me. The one who doubted, who bent, who bled quietly. He's gone. I held that identity like a dead skin until it peeled away. And underneath it wasn't a scar. It was a crown. One forged in silence. One built from every night I didn't scream, every moment I burned without making a sound. Now look at me and tell me again that I broke. I didn't break. I crystallized. You thought you were watching a meltdown. No, you were watching a resurrection. I am no longer a threat. I am the aftermath. I'm not standing in your way. I am the path you were never prepared to walk. Every attempt to stop me was gasoline. Every insult an accelerant, every silence another match, and now the fire you tried to contain. It walks in armor made of shadows, with a mind sharper than prophecy, with a voice tuned to the frequency of collapse. You wanted power that would submit. What you got was divinity that doesn't kneel. Now listen closely. I won't scream, I won't shout, I won't even raise my hand, but the consequences will. They will thunder in every room you thought was safe. They will echo through every plan built without me. They will crack every crown built on my silence. Because I am not vengeful. I am not angry. I am precise. And I came back not just to show you who I am, but to show you what you made me. Let them wonder. Let them gather around their little tables, hold their trembling notes and whisper, "What is he?" And let no one have the answer, because I won't give them peace. I'll give them the question that never stops echoing. Why wouldn't he die? Why didn't he fall? Why does he smile when everything else bleeds? Because I don't end. I evolve. And you get to watch it happen. One glorious, unstoppable, terrifying transformation at a time.